In the Nakasajja village, Mukono district, there lived a farmer with his wife and their daughter, Nalu, who was known throughout the entire village for her hard-working nature. She always helped her parents with all the domestic work at home, such as fetching water from the stream and collecting firewood from the nearby forests. Her mother was proud of her thoroughness and care. One day, Nalu went into the deep forest to gather firewood. The forest was peaceful, and she felt the cold air as she ventured further than usual. Nalu noticed a strange suspended movement hidden deep within the forest. It looked dark and unfamiliar, with smoke rising in the distance from where she stood. Despite her fear, Nalu's curiosity drove her to move toward the source of the smoke. As she got closer, she noticed a hut, which horrified her as she wondered who could be living so deep in the forest. When she reached the hut, she saw an old woman seated inside. To her shock, Nalu noticed that the old woman had 2 mouths, each of which was feeding. This sight scared Nalu to death and she turned back and ran. Little did she know the old woman was a witch. The witch used her magic to trap Nalu, preventing her from escaping. "What did you see, young girl?" the old woman whispered in a threatening voice. "Nothing," Nalu said in deep fear. The old woman warned her that if she ever spoke about their encounter, the witch would come for her wherever she was. After delivering her warning, the witch released Nalu. Nalu ran home as fast as she could without looking back. When she arrived, she found her mother waiting for her, worried because she had been gone for so long. Trembling, Nalu told her mother everything about the old woman she had encountered. Her mother promised to protect her, assuring her that the old woman would not get close to her while she was around. That night, Nalu went to her room, but she was still haunted by the image of the old woman. As she tried to sleep, she began hearing echoes in her mind of the old woman calling her name. After a while, Nalu fell asleep. As the night grew darker, a shadow sneaked through her room window. It was the witch, who had promised to come for her if she told anyone about their encounter. Nalu woke up to see the witch in her room. She tried to scream, but the witch's magic silenced her. The witch then pulled a smoky substance toward Nalu's face and dragged her into the night, disappearing into the forest. Nalu was unable to scream or call for help. The next morning, her parents found her room empty. They began searching for her, and her mother told the village elder what Nalu had shared about the old woman before the incident. The villagers searched the deep forest, but Nalu was nowhere to be found. This story has been told to children, especially girls who live near dense forests, to warn them about venturing into the forest alone.